Well, it's time to talk about it. It's time to talk about how I quit vaping. It's been over a month now. What is today? The 28th, 29th of March. So we're, I don't know, almost 5 weeks, I think. Yeah, today's 30. Tomorrow will be 5 weeks. Okay. Cravings, not really dealing with that at all, because I'm more focused on what I'm eating right now. I'm more focused on losing weight, more focused on coming off the carbohydrates and the sugars. Okay, that's more of what I'm caring about right now than the smoking thing. So that's keeping my attention. I do think about vaping when I'm bored. I think about food when I'm bored. Over the past week, I've come off the sugars and carbohydrates. Now I'm doing less than 20 carbs a day, close to zero sugar as possible. Let's get back to the smoking thing. We'll talk about the keto stuff later on in the weight loss. We'll check out in a different video. But let's see, last August, I just spit all over my steering wheel. Last August is when the whole process of quitting vaping actually started. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 5, 6, 7 months total from the time I started. It started with, at work, our biometrics. If you are a nicotine user, you have to, in order to keep the lower insurance rate, you had to do, I think, 3 sessions with a quit smoking coach or something, and then you can keep the lower percentage rate for health insurance. So that's kind of what kicked it all off. So I did the 3 sessions, and I've been wanting to quit for a while. Anybody that uses nicotine typically, wants to quit, doesn't want to be addicted to something, blah blah blah. So I say, what's it hurt? The work is paying for it. I'll go ahead and keep doing these sessions. Because I'd like to quit, but I don't know how to quit, and blah, blah, blah. So, legit 7 months meeting up with this quit smoking coach on Zoom meetings twice a month. So, it was once every couple weeks. She gave me strategies like, breathing exercises or, toothpicks, something to keep in your mouth to keep you from wanting to vape and smoke or chew, whatever. None of that stuff really worked. It went as far as, when you feel like you're about to take a hit, what are you feeling? What does your body feel? Stuff like that. Listen, none of that really did much. What really got it was I had to decide that I was ready. I had to make the decision. Okay, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And probably 3 weeks before I had actually quit vaping, I had a group of folks from church pray over me, pray with me, pray in agreement with me that this is the Lord's will, and I want to be done. But I had a part to play in that too. Yeah, God can help you with the cravings and the side effects or whatever. But ultimately, you have to decide, I'm done. You just have to decide, I'm done. This is why I'm doing it, and you stick with that reason. You remember that reason, you stick with that reason. For me, the biggest reason was I don't like the fact that there's something so small, like a little vape or a little pinch of chew or even a little Zen pouch or something, have that much control over me to where I have to make sure I have it before I can go on a road trip or before I can go to the store or before I can go wherever. That's just another thing I gotta make sure I have is some sort of nicotine. I hated that. The financial part of it wasn't really a big thing. I could afford it just fine. The side effects, don't really know what the side effects of vaping are. We've heard some things here and there. But that's not why I wanted to quit. It's not because it made me stink or because it tasted bad. Like, it's really hard to say, to have any negative comments about vaping, because it doesn't really affect anybody around you. It's just addictive AF, especially when you can add nicotine to it. At one point I had this big mod and, the big clouds of smoke, and I was running like 14%, and I had him add like 2 extra shots of, oh my gosh. Yeah, I was addicted pretty good. So it's hard to, what do they call it? My quit smoking coach, disenchant. You have to disenchant. Cigarettes are easy to disenchant. They stink. They're stupid expensive. Your bad breath, yellow teeth, blah, blah, blah. But a vape, clean, doesn't stink, tastes good. You get all different flavors. Like, it's hard to, but that was my reason. I don't want to have that control over me. I don't want it to have that control over me. And that would actually really, really upset me. I would get angry that something like that had that kind of control over me. So got some prayer about it, and then it was still 3 weeks later before I actually said, boom, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And went and grabbed a bottle of 0% juice in the same flavor that I was currently using, and filled up the pod thing in my vape and just went to town. Just used it. So that was at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. April 24th is when I did that. And never went back. Went to the 0, used it most of the afternoon, evening, and then it wasn't doing anything for me anymore, and I just chucked it. I didn't tell my family that I was doing that on that Friday. Came home, and I was in a really weird place. Really, really weird place. Was talking fast, couldn't get my thoughts straight. It was weird. The next morning I had to tell my wife what I was doing, what had happened, and then even my quit smoking coach didn't know that I was doing that until the day of. So that was kind of weird. So I don't know. As far as support goes, quit smoking coach helped out in the fact that afterwards, I was able to tell her what I was feeling and stuff, and she actually understood, because she used to be a smoker like 20 years ago or something. But I had her support. That was great. Was she necessary for the whole thing? I don't know. I've quit nicotine before without a quit smoking coach, but that was 6-7 years ago. But anyways, we'll get into the side effects and that in a different video, but that's how I quit. Went to a smaller level juice, went from your typical 6% per milliliter. I don't know how all that works, the high one, and then went to the 2.7%, and then down to a 0. The 2.7%, I did that for like 6 weeks. The 0%, I was on it for like a day. Yeah, doesn't really hit the same flavor, same air, but literally it's just flavored air at that point. But that's how I quit. And then I just never went back. Took a month to get my head clear. I was a bit foggy. The initial side effects, 4 or 5 days of being really, really weirded out, very irritable. The irritability was a strong 3 days. I'm glad I received prayer before all that, because I was not on speaking terms with God for a few days. I'd recommend locking yourself in your room for a few days. Stay away from your family, stay away from anything. Don't try to make important decisions. So, that's pretty much how I quit. They said we're coming up on 5 weeks now, and feel great. Don't have the big cravings. Focusing on losing weight. Gotta get rid of this right here. But heck, I've only been on the keto kick, like the better eating stuff, for like a week now. It took 3 days to 3 days to come off of the snacking, the junk food, and the candies, all the sugary stuff. Took 3 days to come off of that easy, and then another 4 days to come down off of the carbohydrates. I was probably doing, I don't know, well over 600 carbs a day, easy, super easy. Took that down to 200 for a couple days, 100 for a day, and then went down to 50 for another day. And then today is strict meat and vegetables. I was using the keto bread. There's 4 net carbs per slice. That way it's kind of easy to monitor and stuff. But that's a whole nother video. I'm getting off topic. But if you made it all the way through this, thanks for watching. Hopefully it explains some stuff, inspires you, and lets you know that you can do it too. But the biggest thing is to be intentional about it. And you have to say, I'm ready. I want to do this. I'm done. But you have to make that decision. That's your part to play in this. You have to make the decision. Plan it out. Take a couple days to be away from everybody, because you're going to be grouchy. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm out. It's time to go to work.